Hi everybody, I'm Ryan. Today we're going to talk about flex slots and different builds in the Boros Mice deck in Standard. So let's jump into it with the non-flex slots. Now if you're playing Boros Mice, you're pretty much bought into playing these cards. As you can see, the deck isn't that figured out. You really only have 48 non-flex slots in the main deck and only 3 non-flex slots in the sideboard. If you want to look at the cards you pretty much have to play, please pause this video so you can check that out. But we're going to focus on the flex slots. So these are the flex slots in this deck. You're going to be picking 12 of these 26 cards for the main deck and actually 12 of these 18 cards for the sideboard. So let's talk about them. You could play up to 4 Cheeky House Mouse. It is a adventure card where one side is squeak by, target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It can't be blocked by creatures power 3 or greater this turn. And on his creature side is a 2/1 for 1. This is a very, very aggressive card if you want to lean even farther into that and into the mouse combos that exist with the deck. You play Shard Mage's Rescue 3 and 4. Has Flash, enchant creature you control. As long as Shard Mage's Rescue entered this turn, enchant a creature has hexproof, and enchant a creature gets +1/+1. This is very good against decks that play a lot of targeted removal spells. You can play up to 4 Burst Lightning. It's effectively a shock, dealing 2 damage to any target. However, you can pay an additional 4 mana for 5 mana total to have it deal 4 damage instead. Really, you would play this card to get other creatures out of the way, really good against other aggressive decks and stuff. You can play up to 4 Hired Claw. The issue with Hired Claw, while being a very, very aggressive red 1-drop, it doesn't contribute to the mouse synergies at all. But whenever you attack with 1 or more lizards, which Hired Claw would be your only lizard, it deals 1 damage to target opponent, and you can pay 2 mana to put a +1/+1 counter on Hired Claw. Activate only if an opponent lost life this turn, and only once each turn. This is just a really aggressive card, and it's a mana dump, so if you want that, there you have that. You could play Sheltered by Ghosts 3 and 4, mostly for other aggressive strategies because it gives lifelink. It's a 2 mana aura that when it enters, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controlled until Sheltered by Ghosts leaves the battlefield. An enchanter creature gets +1/+0 as lifelink and ward 2. It's just good against the aggressive decks. You can play up to 2 Inti, which I can't believe is still in Standard. It's a 2 mana 2/2. Whenever you attack, you may discard a card. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature. It gets trampled until end of turn. When you discard 1 or more cards, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until your next end step. So what's interesting about Inti is it allows us to dig, and it can trigger Valiant. However, it doesn't combo with any of the mice synergies in and of itself, and it might just be a little cute because really we're just going to be puking everything on the battlefield anyway. You can play up to 4 Lightning Helix. It's a 2 mana, deal 3 damage, gain 3 life instant. Just generally a very solid card, especially against aggressive decks. Play up to 2 Screaming Nemesis in the main deck. It's good against decks that are looking to block. And then you can play Mabel 3 and 4. Mabel is a Mice Lord, but when Mabel, Heir to the Cragflame, enters Cragflame, a legendary colorless equipment artifact token with equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has a Vigilance, Trample, and Haste, and equip 2. Just a decent Mice Lord, especially if we lean even deeper into these mouse synergies with like Cheeky House Mouse and stuff like that. More Mabel is probably where you want to go. Very, very good if we're going wide. Not so great if we're not. Cragflame can be solid if the game goes a little long, but meh. But we're going to be selecting 12 of these cards. As far as the sideboard goes, you can be playing Destroy Evil number 4 for further enchantment and things with big butt hate. You'll be playing Rest in Peace to exile all graveyards and make sure that whenever a card or token we put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead, just as additional graveyard hate. Lithomanic Barrage, it can't be countered, deals 1 damage to target creature or planeswalker. It deals 5 damage instead if the target is white and or blue. So it's really good against decks that are playing white and blue creatures and planeswalkers. Playing up to 2, I don't know why the number's not there, Torch the Tower. Just very good against aggressive decks, dealing 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If this spell was bargained, instead it deals 3 damage to that permanent you gain, and you scry 1. And then if a permanent was dealt damage by Torch Tower or die this turn, exile it instead. Really good against the enduring cards, really good against aggressive decks, particularly good against Heartfire Hero, because it'll get exiled instead of dealing damage to you. Again, Screaming Nemesis, we already talked about. You could play up to 2 in the sideboard, really good against decks that are looking to block. Same thing with the Wishstalker Frenzy, actually. It's a 4 mana instant, costs 1 less for each creature that's attacking this turn. We go very wide in this deck, and deals 5 damage to target creature. Again, very good against decks that are looking to block, especially like Shieldreds and stuff, or like Preacher of the Schisms or whatever. Play up to 3 Sunspine Links. Players can't gain life, damage can't be prevented, and when Sunspine Links enters, it deals damage to each player equal to the number of non-basic lands that player controls. Very good against decks that are aggressive with their mana, like Esper Bounce or Domain or things like that. And then Ghost Vacuum as Graveyard Hate as well. 1 mana artifact, you can tap it to exile target card from a graveyard. So Ghost Vacuum, 1 mana artifact, we can tap it to exile target card from a graveyard. And then just as an additional thing, you can pay 6 mana and tap it to sacrifice Ghost Vacuum. Put each creature card, exile the Ghost Vacuum onto the battlefield under your control with a flying counter on it. Each of them has a 1/1 spirit in addition to its other types, and activate only as a sorcery. So, like, while this is less mana and not, you know, a specific color, you can only exile 1 card a turn. It does have upside though, or we could just like be able to pay 2 mana, forget about it. They never have a graveyard. So it's tough between these two pieces of Graveyard Hate. But you're going to select 12 of these cards for your sideboard and 12 of these 26 cards for your main deck to add to your non-flex slots. And then you have your very own but stock version of Boros Mice in Standard. If you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social medias. Links are above me and in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.